Hello friends, I'm here at the dojo, but I'm heading home. This weekend's going to be really cold, so let's do something cold and paint a winter scene. And I'm going to use a black canvas, and I'm only going to use about 3 different colors, so this will be a short, easy painting that anyone can do. And we're going to call this one Winter Moon. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. Today I'm going to do a small black canvas. So I've painted the white canvas with a black acrylic gesso and allowed it to completely dry, and then I've covered it with some liquid clear, which allows this wet on wet technique. I don't know exactly what I'm going to paint today, but I know it's just going to be night and it's probably going to be a snow scene. I have very few colors here on the palette, as you can see. I have our buddy Bob going in the background painting as inspiration. Remember, I'm nowhere near as good as him. I'm not very good at this. I'm just a hobbyist, so if you want to paint along with me, you're welcome to. Also, I don't know if you can hear it, but I have the heater going down by my feet. It's very cold down here in the basement since it's winter time. So I hope you don't mind a little extra curricular noise. Let's just go into some of the straight titanium white here on the brush. Just loading the brush up with a little bit of white. And let's have kind of a night sky going here. It's a small canvas, so the paint's going to go a long way today, especially on these black canvases. And we'll have a light source, maybe over here for a change. I'm going to have up here will be where our night sky is. And I'm just adding a little bit of color here. This will be a mostly gray canvas. There's some blue in there, but I don't want too much. I want this quite dark at the top. And I'll go in with another 2-inch brush here and just smooth this out. I want this to be quite dark here. And I'm going to add just a touch more white here, and I'll explain why in a moment. This will be the brightest part of the sky. Just smoothing that out a little bit. And I think I'll go in here and do the same idea with the brightness. Maybe this will be water down here. We're not quite sure yet. We'll see later on. So I've just mirror imaged it. And I'm going to go in here and grab a little titanium white on the end of my finger. And let's add a moon in. So that quickly you have a moon, and let's put it right here in the water down below. Pretty cool, huh? And then we can soften it if we want with a clean, dry 2-inch brush. And that way I can I'm just touching it lightly. I want to take some of that out. And at ease you have a nice little moon. Let me grab a fan brush. Let's go into some straight midnight black, maybe just a touch of Prussian blue so it's not so black. Let's add some dark clouds in here, shall we? So maybe up here I'm just going to bring in some clouds, maybe drifting across the moon a little bit. Again, I'm going to mirror image a little bit what's over here. Within reason, your eye picks up a lot of it. Isn't that cool? I switch from right to left-handed on occasion. I like to paint with both hands to get good at it. Okay, let's put that down. And I'm just going to blend out these clouds a little bit to make them softer. Just barely touching. So that the sky is softer, looks farther away. And now we can go back in and grab a filbert brush. I'm just going to put just a touch of liquid white. The liquid white thins down the paint, and a thin paint sticks to a thick paint. So that's the rule in this particular style. Thin sticks to thick. I'm just loading up the filbert brush here with a little bit of white so that we can highlight some of these clouds. From the moonshine here. I'm just going to touch highlight wherever the light of the moon would hit. It just makes the sky a bit more dramatic. See that? And then we can mimic it a little bit in the water down here if we want. Just a touch. And then I'm just blending the ends here with the filbert. I'm going to go back to my right hand. Excuse my bare paw in front of you. I'm just blending these clouds a little bit, so that they go from light to dark, farther away from the moon that we get. Okay, let's go in and just lightly fluff these clouds a little bit, soften them. I don't want the clouds brighter than the moon, so I'll dull them a little. A bit hard for me to see with the reflection of this light up here. I may have to adjust a little. Okay, that's good for now. So we have a really simple sky. Moonlit, night sky. Just going to go in and touch up one little section here. With this wet on wet technique, you can easily go in and fix what you don't like. So I'm just going to touch around that moon a bit. That's better. Much better. Okay, let's go into some dark. We have the light sky here. I just want to soften that just a touch more. Now, let's not put a mountain in this, but maybe we could let's put some trees. So for that, I'm going to get a round brush. I'll show these to you as we go. If you want to paint along with me, you will have to buy some supplies. It's not a very cheap hobby. But once you have the brushes, you have them. They last a long time, with the exception of a fan brush. As you can see, this fan brush gets really old after a while. You do have to replace those. But these larger brushes, which are licensed by Bob Ross, as you can see, these are more money than... Don't go to the hobby store and buy any old brush. These hairs are very thick and differently made. They're very good quality, but you're going to pay more for this brush. This might cost $25 for this, but it'll last years. And then the 2-inch brushes, of course, are about the same. But once you buy the brushes, you have them. So if you want to ask for a gift, then that's a good thing to do. I'm just going to some Prussian blue and some black. Just loading up this with dark colors. This will mostly be silhouetted at night. We'll go in and put in a tree line here. Don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but you may. Just adding in faraway trees. Maybe this big tree up here that covers the sky. This texture shows up nicely. Can you see that line? So that just shows a nice dark forest. It's kind of a scary forest. Looks very cold and scary. Maybe there's an owl that we can hear in the background, or a witch on a broom. Who knows? You have to use your imagination. Then I go into a different brush. I don't want to mess that one up, so let's get another one. I have several brushes going. Again, this just saves me time. I'm going to go right into the Prussian blue and black and make just a slightly lighter color, almost like a snow or a light blue. Don't want it too light, but there, that's pretty good there. And I'm just touching this on the bristles, you can hear. It's kind of a medium blue to give a little bit of a highlight here on these trees. Especially under the moon. This is where they would be lightest. I'm just hitting the left side, again where the highlights would be on these trees. And just by touching up here, it looks like I can make this tree taller. Maybe it comes way up. It's kind of nice. Kind of ties the edges in, makes a nice perspective. Now, Let's make some snow. Let's take another 2-inch brush, go right into the titanium white, and just dragging it across here. This will be our first hint of snow. I just bring this in, and I'm just touching here. And then let's add another layer of these dark trees. Blue, black, a little bit of, maybe a touch of Van Dyke brown. Just want dark color. Let's put a tree right here. This one's gonna be in the foreground, so it's gonna, as you can see, goes over that snow. Let's take our highlight. Good. I'm just using the edge of the knife to put in a couple of stalks or things to hold up the leaves. Okay, back into the white. Maybe there's some snow here, and then it comes this way. About the lay of the land now, so now we're coming to the shadows. That's what that gray is for. So you can see it looks like different planes of snow. Think about the lay of the land. I'm going to go into a touch more of the blue. There we go. Now this over here would be, this would be shadowed, so I'm going to take the dark and create a shadow behind this tree. Can you see that shadow? So the moon is here casting the light this way. The shadow would be growing here. You have to know where the light and the dark is. I really want some dark in here. There we go. I want the door black. And maybe this carries down. Maybe this is a over here. Maybe this goes down this way. So this dark to light, the dark to light creates different planes. Now let's put a pine tree in. For that, I'm going to use a fan brush. I'm going to use this ratty old fan brush, as you can see. Let's go into Prussian blue, black, brown. I'm just loading this brush up. Dragging that out. Nice dark color. Let's go over here and create a pine tree. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. And I'm just zigzagging back. Creating this dark pine. Let's put another one here. These are easy to do. Hope I'm not going too fast if you're painting along. This is just free flowing. I'm practicing. These paintings are practice. That's all. They're just practice. Let's put another one here. This is a small one. Now if we want the trunks to show up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my liner brush, or a liner. I have several going here. Just going to go into liquid white. I don't want pure white, I want kind of that light blue. Touch of paint thinner. And I'm just rolling this up like ink. I'm just going to add in some pine trunks here. Okay. See how thick these are. I'll recover most of these up. I'm just putting in. I'm putting in indications, that's all. Most of this will be covered. But see, you can't put dark over dark, it won't show. Maybe over here there's a little. Now you go back over these and break them up. See? And that just makes a hint. Of a highlight. maybe there's just a little shining through there, see? Just a little. Isn't that nice? Just a touch. See, now you can see those make the trees pop out a little bit. Okay, let's go into some I want a filbert brush, a large filbert. This is a large filbert. It's, gosh, got to be close to 1 inch. I'm gonna go into the straight titanium white, and let's bring down. There we go, a hill here. I want a lot of this snow. Just blending up. Isn't that neat? Just adding snow. This is easy, very fun. Gets darker as it goes. Starts to come toward us. The direction changes a bit. Gets darker, darker, darker. Just blending. It's a very easy painting for beginners. There's really not a lot to it. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. All it takes is a desire to sit and challenge yourself and not be afraid to create. See, just making that little S here pushes that tree back. Isn't that fun? If you have children, you can do this. If you're with a significant other, boy or girlfriend. I've often painted for people I've loved. I've given gifts to ladies I've loved over the years. And if we parted ways, which is okay, they keep the painting, and because it was given at a time of love. And if you have a girlfriend or wife, you can paint together. It's a wonderful thing to do. Get to know each other better. Now let's create some water here, just pulling this straight down. This is magical here. Then you go across to make the water soft. Most of the moon is gone, but there's a little hint of it there. And we can go in and create some land here, just using the fan brush right now. Add a little more brown to it. Using perspective, make sure as you go toward the edge, you want the line to go down, which pulls your eye into the painting. So you can see how I took this line not that way, but I rounded it here. That's just how perspective works. So you don't want to forget those little tips. As you continue this painting. And then this gets wider toward the edge, see? We will go in and make a little water line. Just using straight liquid white. Pull this out, make a line, and we'll create a little water line here. Keep these as straight as you can. Makes our little pond here. Maybe there's a little snow on the edge. Yeah, that's it. Go back into the fan brush with the dark blue and the black. Clean up this edge. Okay. A little brighter where the moon hits. So up here, because the moonlight hits there, I'm going to make that brighter. See? Again, because the moon hits there. And then the moonlight would hit here too. Maybe there's a light spot there where the moon goes. Another ridge. Guys having fun watching? I hope so. It's always my pleasure to sit and do this. And maybe we'll make a couple of some grassy areas here. Just pressing with the using the filbert. It's quite unusual. You could spend hours on these. I'm just giving you an idea of what you can do with 3 colors, keeping it really simple. There's definitely not too much to this painting. It's really easy. Something you can do in a half an hour. And I think I'll put one large tree. I'll show you. Here's your bravery test. Just going into the brown and the black. Let's put a big tree right here. Isn't that nice? I like that. It cuts through. Goes right off the canvas. Tall sucker. And there's one right here too. This gives it a bit more of a forest depth. Maybe these are tall pines, you know. There's one right here. Artist friend of mine said do everything in groups of 3. It's pleasing to the eye. I don't know about that. I don't agree with that, but that was his opinion. Then we'll highlight these with a little, using my palette knife. Just go into some of the blue and the white. It's kind of a gray color. And just touch a line here. Let's do this right-handed. Put my palette down. Move this light. I'm just touching the left side of this tree. Letting the canvas take what it wants. Just touching the light on the left where the moon would be hitting. You don't want it too bright. There. I like that. Now we'll go back. Take some more of this dark color and just putting a little shadow this way. I'll show you why. Again, the moon would leave. Actually, let's do this. The moon would leave a shadow this way, so I'm just trying to put a little dark this way. See? Your eye will perceive that. And then I will go in. I'm going to clean a brush here, excuse me. Your eye will perceive these shadows from, 5-10 feet away when you're looking at the painting. Then it will make sense to your eye. I have a trash can next to me to clean off the excess. Yeah, see the shadows? Isn't that cool? And you would perceive that with the moon there. See that little shadow? Can you pick that up in the camera? It looks pretty good. Again, you can spend as much time on this as you want. It's your time, your world. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Don't let people tell you you can't do something. You can do anything you want. Right? Life is short, too short, unbelievably short. We need to do what we want. Even if we suffer the repercussions from it, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, or it brings pleasure to them like this, go for it. Get rid of the naysayers in your life. They don't do any good. Gosh, even sometimes your family members are naysayers. I'm lucky my family has always been supportive of whatever I did. And I love them for it, because they didn't have to be. They are. And those I love in my life, I surround myself with good people that care about my well-being as I care about theirs. They're just selfish enough so that they have their own endeavors, and I never hold them back from that. I want them to have their own endeavors, because you can't be too attached to someone to the point where you lose your individuality. All of us, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, lovers of all kinds, you have to have your individuality. You must maintain that in order to have a healthy relationship. I know this from unbelievable experience in it. You have to be able to just go out and leave your person that you love. Go out with your friends, trust them to hang out and to remain faithful, of course. And let them go out with their friends and let you have your time. And then the heart grows fonder the farther apart you are and the longer the time you're apart. And then when you see each other, you can share stories about what you did. And then you have fulfilled that individual desire to be separate once in a while and maintain who you used to be before you were a couple. And I think that's really important. The people I know who are unhappy in a relationship are sadly so reliant on the other person that they lose their individuality. And then they become obsessed, jealous, with petty envy. A person can't even go on their phone or go shopping without any trust. And those relationships don't usually last. Again, as I said, life is short. Surround yourself with people who love you and are going to support who you are. There. I'm just adding a water line in here to tie this end up. It's amazing what you can do with this little palette knife. create all kinds of little things going on. And then I soften this, see? Soften that up. Oops, hair. Soften this up a little bit here. Again, I'm just going over this to smooth it out, but you can... I could have been done 20 minutes ago. I'm just talking to you. But you can take as much time as you want in your world to paint. Do not let the clock dictate it. We have all afternoon here. There, I'm just softening a couple edges. I like that. Cool, huh? Isn't that easy? You have a painting. Half an hour ago it was a dead black canvas. Now it's a nighttime snow scene. See? Just taking some white, adding in a couple of faraway trees. You can use your imagination looking at this, saying, oh my gosh, what lives back there? Big bear, maybe. It's where the deer sleep. Sasquatch, maybe there's a Sasquatch in there, who knows? No, there's no such thing. It's fun to imagine it though. So by putting these lines, it just makes it a little more interesting here. A little bit of action here. Some larger scrubs. There. I don't want to go over too much. How easy is that? You have a nice little water seed here. Nice little moon seed. I'm just going to soften that a little bit. Looks like ice, doesn't it? There. Okay. I like it. It is easy, simple. Anyone can do this. Don't hesitate to paint what your heart desires. Have fun, create. Take chances, do it. I don't know how long that was, but it certainly wasn't a long painting. It was done with 3 colors. I barely used the Van Dyke brown, so it's kind of a monochromatic winter night scene. I don't know the name yet. We'll name it later. But my friends, now go off, nap, go to sleep. I'm going to clean up. I won't bother keeping you with me, so I'm going to clean all my brushes up, and then we'll let this dry. It takes, a good solid week to dry. And then we'll give it away to someone who will enjoy this on their wall. That's it for relaxation oil painting in this episode. It was a quick one. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly appreciate your company. We'll see you all next time. Have a great day.